Hey all, welcome back. You are heading to Alpha Tucanae. You can see we've got a few ships following us. This space is a little bit more dangerous than others we've been through before. But we made it. This is Adrian.
This is Snow.
And let's meet with the leaders of the Zoq-Fot-Pik. So they are voiced by Roy Blumenfeld and Madeline Wild, husband and wife pair. They do voice coaching nowadays in Sonoma, California. They did a little bit of video game work, but not much. Most of their work has been in web audio stuff, commercials, and whatnot. They did work together also in the point-and-click adventure games Star Trek Next Generation and Final Unity, which I haven't actually played myself. I haven't done a lot of Star Trek gaming, surprisingly.
So don't try stealing our atmosphere or anything sneaky like that.
Anyway, let's let them know that we want to help them out.
Wonderful. We accept.
Well, that was easy.
How marvelous.
Well, I mean, when their entire civilization is nearly destroyed, I think that would make people a little bit willing to ally.
Well, good job, humans. Team over. Episode over.
You with captains and ship designs. All that we ask for is your protection, so we don't get slaughtered. We shall begin fulfilling our commitment.
So they're far enough away that it is going to be a little bit tricky to help protect them, but we'll do the best we can.
Why, heck! Maybe I'll even make the trip to your planet. I'd make a good starship captain. I'm pretty darn mean in a fight, and there ain't nobody better than me with a thrusty stinger tongue attack.
Wait, what?
We had a close call last week. One of those ships was snooping around the system.
That's the main weapon for their ships, the Zoq-Fot-Pik stingers. They shoot out a tongue to lick the enemy ship.
No, we have nothing new to report. Nope.
I
Yeah.
don't know what to say about that.
Sure. What do you want to know?
Yep, just wait until I do that show off the ships video. You really have to see it to understand it.
This space exploration stuff is kind of new to us.
Your explanation does not fill me with confidence.
Which have only tried to kill us. And the black alien ships, which have actually been quite successful at killing us. The only other starships we have encountered are strange tumbling red probes, which profess to be on a peaceful mission. But then attack like slavering Zabrankies.
We haven't met these probes yet, but we will in the future. These are an important little background thing that you occasionally run into in hyperspace.
And what's worse, they are multiplying. Yes, that's true. The probes seem to be replicating at a geometric rate. Hey! That means if there was only one last week, then next month... wait a minute. Let me calculate. That means next month there'll be a whole bunch of those things.
I can confirm this math.
We have been able to calculate that the source of the probe is on a direct line that includes our star and Epsilon Muscae. Go get 'em, Captain!
That's something we'll want to follow up on in the future.
Cultural exchange. A good idea. Yeah, let's tell him about...
I can't help see the tentacle things of the guy on the left as eyes, which makes no sense.
Honestly, I thought they were communicating through, like, tapping that large fin thing.
I like that idea.
Right now, he's wondering, what is this wonderful sport, Frungy? How is it played? What kind of equipment do you need to play Frungy? And I wonder who's ahead in the Frungy Championship. Will you shut up about Frungy? If you say another word about that stupid game, I'm going to lose control and blow a cloud of spores at you. Yeah, okay. Don't blow your stack. I won't mention Frungy again, I promise. Well, Captain, as you can probably see, our culture's predominant trait, its greatest strength and weakness, is the diverse interactions between Zoq-Fot and Pik. Frungy! Nope, not a word.
Okay.
The stinger is the peak of our technological prowess. It's totally awesome.
These vessels are cheap to build and can be quite effective in short-range combat.
They turn on a small round thing that's real small.
Remember though, against most ships, the Stinger must close distance immediately and give unrelenting tongue attacks until either the enemy or the Stinger are destroyed.
Yeah, the tonguing is the best part.
Yeah.
Our past? Quite a broad topic for this short conversation, but we'll share a key piece of our history with you.
After we killed off the last of Branky, we faced an interesting question.
Should we proceed and establish a culture which would advance in art, technology, and social sophistication?
Or should we just go back into the forest and kick back and enjoy ourselves, knowing that as a Branky wasn't going to jump out of the bush and eat us?
Well, we did go back into the forest. We stayed there for about 5,000 years and had a great time.
Then, one stormy day, a Zoq, a Fot, and a Pik were walking up a steep path looking for something good to eat when a bolt of lightning struck nearby. With a huge flash of light, the bolt of energy carved a strangely shaped chunk of granite out of a cliff.
It was a disc with a hole in the middle. As the rock began to roll down the hill toward the three terrified beings, some dry grass got caught in its hole. And since the rock was still hot, the grass caught on fire.
When the rock finally got to the Zoq, the Fot, and the Pik, they simultaneously discovered the wheel, fire, and religion, thus catapulting them on the road of progress.
Which has led us to this day, Captain.
Well, it's an efficient origin.
The flaming wheel give religion to our culture, you ask?
I will explain. You see, when it got to the threesome, the flaming wheel was going at a pretty good clip, and it ran smack into the Zoq, killing him.
The Fot and the Pik felt so bad. They really liked that Zoq, that they decided the Zoq hadn't really died when the wheel flattened him. He had just gone to a better place.
Presumably one without lethal flaming wheels.
That's a pretty efficient religion.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Goodbye, Captain.
See ya!
Alright, so that's done. We're going to head on back now, but we do have a little bit of mining we're going to do in the area first, just to pick up some resources before we get back to the starbase. So we check out a couple planets in this system. Then we make our way back. First off, we're going to stop back at Epsilon Gruis to see if there's been any more information from the Spathiwa since last time. And you'll notice, by the way, that some of the ships are falling off as we leave enemy space, but one of them is very tenacious. It's sticking right on us.
It wants to be our ally next.
Let's see.
We come in peace. Mission description follows. Traverse space recording data. Seek materials for replication. Replicate to expand scope of mission. Contact life forms in peaceful manner. After 10 replications, return to point of origin. End of mission description. Priority override. New behavior dictated. Must break target into component materials.
Oh, that's
Well,
not good.
so here we've got some combat to do, and we're going to end this pretty quick, because like I said, our ship's pretty well armed now. If you don't have the weapon upgrade from the Melnorme, dealing with these probes can be a lot more annoying, but they're a pretty quick kill. You saw for just an instant that lightning bolt attack they've got, it can do a lot of damage if you let them. So that was a Slilandro probe, and as you can see, there's something a little bit wrong with their programming right now, which isn't great for people. So eventually we'll have to track them back. And that's another probe, I believe, because I think that's the only thing we actually encounter in Spathiwa space. The more time passes, the more often you encounter them, because, as the Zoq-Fot-Pik said, they are growing geometrically. They're a good source of resources, but if you're not very well equipped, they can also be really dangerous.
welcome. We are here in this place at this time just like you. How wonderful.
There's something adorable about the Spathiwa, despite their
Very little, I'm
intense,
afraid.
intense
We've just been
pragmatism.
watching the stars. You know,
It's a
actually,
very
there was
neat
something
combination.
that happened the last month on the 17th. We saw
Terrifyingly
a new star
endearing.
appear between the Surtini
Yeah.
and Chandrasekhar
This is another
star
nice, neat little
clusters.
detail to keep
We
in mind. This is
watched
something
it
we'll want to
and
follow
watched
up on
it for
later.
3 days we just watched it. Then it went away, vanished just like that. I hope it comes back.
So that's something that happens on the 17th of every month.
Deep space. We learn little of interest. I suggest you consult the more interesting folk at Spathiwa. We used to be bored, but then we bought this cool entertainment product. It simulated a grand adventure through 1,000 parsecs of hostile space, where we met interesting aliens, uncovered the secrets of a long-lost superior race, and eventually, to save our world from destruction, we had to face the dread... Never mind, I can tell you aren't really interested. As you wish. Our waste recycling unit is at your disposal. There you will find quantities of methane, sulfurous gas, and some interesting organic compounds. Feel free, take all you want. Same to you.
So after that brief encounter with the ship, we'll head on to the moon itself. There's a few dialogue options we missed before to get information or whatnot, so we're gonna pick these up.
Provided your starbase engineers was sufficient for your needs. Perhaps, Captain, I will explain. We have been investigating the caster which we took away from the Unga after the Judd the Bug scandal 8 years ago. We have uncovered evidence of something strange going on between the Unga and the Ur-Rat over the past many years. We suspect that the Unga were using the caster to pull off some kind of long-term joke on the Ur-Rat, but we are unable to glean any more details.
So they've come up a couple times now. The Unga are a race of inveterate pranksters,
Certainly.
but they go really, really extreme with their pranks.
Since we never wanted to be in the hierarchy, and we are afraid of all the other members, our knowledge on this subject is a bit limited. But I'll tell you what I know. The hierarchy is the construct of the Ur-Quan. It exists to maintain their supreme authority over all sentient life forms in the galaxy. As far as we know, there are 6 other races active in the hierarchy, including the gelatinous Unga pranksters, the multi-legged, super-violent Ur-Rat, who are fanatical in their worship of Dogar and Kazan, the Tradash, a weak and obnoxious race from the Draconis group of stars, the humanoid clones you call Androsynth, though they have been strangely absent for some years, the vain Vox, commanded by the brilliant and eccentric General Zex, and the mysterious Mycon, who ramble endlessly about people, places, and events from long ago as though they happened just today. If there are other hierarchy races, we are not aware of them.
So the Androsynth are kind of an interesting story from Star Control 1. They are genetically engineered human clones that were used as, not to put too much of a pleasant spin on it, essentially used as a slave race by humans. Engineered to be unable to reproduce themselves, only able to be created by the genetic processes that humans used to make them. And they ended up rebelling for obviously good reasons, leaving Sol and going into the unknown. And humanity didn't encounter them again until the original wars with the Ur-Quan, where the Androsynth had signed on with the Ur-Quan specifically so that they could fight against humanity.
But that is nonsense. Who could be so cruel?
Turns out, slavery once again bites us in the butt. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
That one? Well, we had some contact with Alliance members before the Ur-Quan showed up. Mostly with the Chenjasu, who stopped off here occasionally when they were on their way to explore the galactic core. Actually, their last visit was interesting. They were returning from the Tukane star systems, where they said they had found a new alien race called the Zoq-Fot-Pik, or
So if you
something
didn't
like
follow
that.
up on the
The
stress
only
signal
other
from
race
Rigel,
we
this would be
ever
another way
tested
to
was
find
the
out about them
Ur-Quan,
independently.
who once tried to colonize Beta Hercules, which we considered within our sphere of influence. When we explained this to the Mernherm, they politely withdrew from the contested star system and never bothered us again. Since we tend to stay close to home, preferably in the living room, we know little about
I love that
other
line.
races beyond our neighbors, such as the Unga. Before being subjugated by the Ur-Quan, the Unga were a contented and peaceable race who inhabited the region of stars which you call Orionis. They spent their time happily exploring and mining the nearby planetary systems and engaging in elaborate and, to our way of thinking, cruel practical jokes. One particularly nasty prank was the time they broadcast a trick message through space declaring the arrival of the Grandmaster Planet Eaters or some such nonsense. This caused several alien cultures to go mad with panic, including, you might be surprised to know, ourselves.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Like all
the
other
Unga are
races,
jerks.
we have found evidence of the precursors scattered throughout our space. Our belief is that the precursors are not really gone. They simply came to their senses one day and used their superior technology to invent some kind of perfect invisibility shield and remain alive and happy to this day. We hope to rediscover the secret someday and disappear into similar obscurity. One other thing, we haven't been able to translate much of their writing, but we understand one fragment of text. It mentions a sequence of 10 artificial waste disposal sites they built somewhere around here. I suspect that even garbage from the precursors would be of incredible value.
One more thing to
Good.
keep in
I
mind.
don't feel much like talking about that anyway.
There's a lot of those.
Goodbye, Hunam.
So, pretty successful, informative conversation there. Spathiwa aren't too bad of allies so far, honestly. Got some good information on the rest of the hierarchy and who we can expect to encounter. A little bit of information on some nearby races, allies, incidents. But we're going to go ahead and head back to Seoul. Fortunately, on the way, we happen to run out of fuel. So we can see what happens there. Wait long enough, this is about 30 seconds or so elapsing, and you can see a ship approaching. And once it gets here, we can see that it's Melnorme.
I was just talking about you.
If you run out of fuel in the middle of hyperspace, you're literally stuck. You can stay in place, but you can't move. But eventually a Melnorme ship will show up to sell you some fuel.
How convenient.
Like all Varese,
Yeah.
I'm afraid they were hesitant to introduce themselves for fear of, well, frightening you. In any event, it is our pleasure to meet you once again. Now, what can we do for you today?
So first we're going to sell off data from the evil ones. We got a good amount of animal data from that, so we might as well get some advantage out of it.
2 units of biological data. We downloaded.
If I remember right, every creature gives you 2 units, or at least every one of those creatures does. I think different ones are worth different amounts. So there were 16 altogether that we had to track down there.
How much fuel do you wish to purchase?
We're just going to pick up a little bit of fuel. We don't want to spend too many credits on them because we still want to save up for technology, information, and whatnot.
How much fuel do you wish to purchase? Who would you like to? It has that.
And we're going to press on the rest of the way to Seoul now. Not too far. And you'll notice, by the way, that you can probably figure out now that gray circle on the star map indicates your current range, how far you can get based on the current amount of fuel you have.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah, nice way of telling.
Captain, I'm glad
Got a
you're
lot
back.
to do here.
By the way, I thought you should know. Captain, a delegation of Spathiwa has just arrived here under orders from their High Council to form an alliance and assist you against the hierarchy. They have provided fabricator blueprint data for their eluder spacecraft and promise a steady supply of captains for as many ships as we build. Excellent work, Captain. Also, It would appear your diplomatic efforts have struck gold, Captain. We've been contacted by a race called the Zoq-Fot-Pik, who wish to fulfill their part of the unification, something you have arranged with them, I gather. They have sent us specifications for the Stinger-class attack vessels, as well as a large number of Zoq-Fot-Pik commanding officers. You're doing a fine job, Captain.
Had a good deal of mining success while we were out.
A fine job, Captain. Farewell, Captain.
So, first we're going to use that to fuel back up. But skipping over that, we'll get to the hangar, and we're going to go ahead and do our first ship purchase. We'll pick up one of those Stinger-class vessels. So you can see, by the way, that we can't build a Bekunk Fury right now because the Bekunk just gave us the ships, not the plans or the captains.
Well done.
Yep. Here, we've got a Stinger right there. Got it full up on crew, all 10. And that'll be it this time. Next time? Well, we don't have anything specific to follow up on, so we'll be doing some general investigation. We might head to see the source of the probes, haven't really decided quite yet, but we'll find out soon enough. So, until next time, everyone. Bye.
See you next time.